Hi, today we're going to talk a little bit about Hakama folding in Aikido, and more particularly about Hakama folding here at Aikido of Charlotte. It's very much a part of our culture. Hakama folding is something that you are encouraged to learn how to do early on in your training. It's not a form of hazing. It's not something that senpai give to their kohai to do because they're hazing them. It's something that we do as a sign of respect and gratitude. It is a meditative and contemplative process, and it's something that everybody should learn how to do. So let's get started. Okay, so class is over. We have approached a sensei or a senpai who wears a hakama. We've made a deep bow, offered to fold, and we've been given a hakama to fold. So the first thing we do is lay it down flat with the pleat side up. You'll notice that inside there's a fold here. It doesn't matter which way the fold goes, it just needs to go one way or the other. I find the best way to do that is to pin it under your chin and cap the fold. You want to take a pinch here. And lay your hakama flat. Now we're gonna start off by folding the back pleat first. So I'm making sure that my obi are out of the way. Flip it over on its back. And lay it out flat. There's a seam that runs along both sides of the pant, and you want to pinch and pull this seam. Make it nice and tight. And then even up top. So once we have everything nice and smooth and taut, we should have one overlapping seam going right down the back of the hakama. Now, this is probably the toughest part of the fold. We gotta flip it over and maintain this seam right here. So when you do this flip, it's very common for the seam to open up and you gotta start over again. It just takes a little bit of practice. What I like to do is pinch at the top, give it a slide, and roll it back. Now, ideally, I've maintained that back seam. We'll see when we turn it over. But now I can concentrate on the front pleats. Again, pull each pleat tight. In the same way that we tightened on the back, here and here, you want to do that on the front as well. You'll find that this is much, much easier to do if you work the inside pleats first and then the outside. And I don't know if there's a specific rule about it or not. I always go with the 3 pleats first. Now, once we get here, we're going to make a fold in. I fold a little bit deeper on the bottom than on the top because when we make our tri-folds later, it tends to splay if you don't. So this actually overlaps just a little bit. Now, I'm going to fold into thirds and end my complete fold right up here at the base. And it looks like I kept my pleat. So, one of the things to keep in mind is that when you give the hakama back to the owner, you want to present a really crisp, clean final product. And sometimes that's going to mean making little adjustments to your fold throughout the course of the fold. In this particular case, I've got a little bit too much real estate on this side. That's not a big deal. I can adjust. Because I want my seam to go right down the middle. All right, so now that I've gotten my seam straightened out, it's time to move on to the straps. For most of the Hakama that you're going to encounter at Aikido of Charlotte, we're gonna do a 2-3 fold on the straps. And by that I mean we're gonna do fold it in half the first time, and then into thirds the second. Half, and then thirds. This takes a little bit of time to get used to. Eventually, you'll just sort of figure it out as you do more. So, now it's time for our short straps. So what I'm going to do is take my short strap and lay it directly over my long strap, starting with the left. Now I'm going to pinch right at the X, feed my short strap up. Making little adjustments along the way. Now I'm going to loop over and up again. Now, if I find that I've got an extra long piece of loop here, or of strap, I can loop it around a second time. That's going to be great for a presentation if I have a strap that's too long. One drawback is I won't be able to release the knot with a single pull later. And then I do the same thing on the other side. Feed it straight up. Make my little adjustments. And back up again. I know I've got a good fold going here because my short straps are basically even. Final step is I'm going to take, starting with the right, this short strap and feed it under and through. Ideally, it should end right here at the base. And then left over right again. So, I ended up with a nice knot. Now, it's not always gonna work that way. Sometimes you're gonna have a lot of real estate left over, easy enough to fix. You can fold straps under and tuck. Like that. Now, when you present the Hakama to your sensei or senpai, present knot first and bow. If we've done this tie with the single loop, when the Hakama is next used, all they'll have to do is grab here and pull, and it will release the knot. If you've got two loops, it won't release. If you're placing the Hakama on the edge of the mat or on the counter, because the sensei or the senpai isn't there, you simply turn it over, face down, so that the name appears. And that is how you fold a Hakama. So the next opportunity that you have after class, I encourage you to run to this side of the mat and seek out your senpai. Don't wait to be asked. This is a new skill that anybody would be happy to teach you. It is a sign of excellent etiquette if you seek out someone and offer to fold their Hakama. Look forward to seeing you on the mat.